Good evening, Mr. Jonathan.
Mr. Kirbyathan, how it goes this fine Monday evening, afternoon, and others?
It's not too bad. It's episode 105. I feel
Picking
like it's about time we did a beer episode. Talk a bit about beer and engineering and
It is, and I
how
think
those two worlds
we may
can
have
collide.
a guest.
So I want to welcome a self-proclaimed Massol. He's pretty wicked smart. We got Ed Gebo.
You can't start with that.
You totally can start with that. Anybody from the state of Massachusetts is affectionately known as a masshole. So it's all good.
How are you doing this wonderful afternoon, Ed?
I'm doing great. Winter, I think, is officially over. All the snow is mostly gone, and better days are ahead. So how are you guys doing?
Swimmingly.
Trying our best. I mowed my lawn this weekend for the first.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll top you. I hired a gardener.
I
Good time for that anymore.
Mowed my lawn, reseeded it, and all that.
I haven't done any of that yet because I haven't had a reason to. It's too cold. So
I was going to say, if you can see it, then it's starting to hit summer.
not there yet. We still have another month to go before we think about anything of seeding or gardening. So,
Well, it must be nice having a shortened gardening season.
I might flip that the other way and enjoy it because winters here suck. That's all I can say.
Also true, but
Yeah.
I mean, snow's not too bad. I don't think so.
It can be inconvenient.
We started with the cold and snow in end of November, right through December. It didn't stop until literally, matter of fact, it snowed today, but not enough to make a difference. So, as much as I grew up with this stuff, that doesn't mean I like it. So,
It sounds magical for someone who sees snow every couple of years. It's beautiful. It's wonderful.
holiday time, sure, it can all melt right after January 1st.
I kind of feel like even in the UK, it gets a bit January and February. It's still dark and it's all grey, but there's no Christmas lights to make it feel happy.
Does it? It probably snows up by you, Johnny, but does it snow down in London area, Kirby?
I get a smattering. Kirby gets a light dusting.
Yeah, very, very, very rarely. I think in the almost 12 years, 12 years that I've lived here, I've had snow stick around once. As in like for more than a day. Most of the time it will snow and then it's gone by 11 o'clock. If it snows.
We sometimes get a week, I would say, of snow. The UK is not very good at dealing with it, Ed. I don't know if you know. We're pretty rubbish at winters. It kind of brings everything to a halt.
Well, it's no more different than other areas of the US that don't get a lot of snow. I think cities will shut down for a day because they don't have a way to remove it or to take care of it. So
I know Texas struggles when they get the big freeze because all their pipes freeze up.
yeah, none of that was prepared for like permafrost like we have up here and 6 feet under the ground and all that good stuff. And I can see that, if you're not used to it, how are you going to take care of it? We're seasoned veterans, so snow doesn't stop us. We keep moving forward.
The UK is not snow specialist. Scotland, I think, does an all right-ish job.
There's a whole app that you can track all the snow spreaders, all the grit spreaders and that, and they're all named differently.
Yes, they've all got brilliant names. It's like Gritty McGritface and Grit Queen.
There might be people with too much time in their hands.
Yep.
It's voted by the people, so
the unemployed people.
Again, people with too much time in their hands. However, I've been unemployed recently, but I spent my time looking for a job. And,
that's what most people that want to be employed do.
Yeah, it was more important. My wife enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Gainfully employed.
You need to get a job now.
You need to get something. Hey, TikTok, let's go.
But you're now in a new job now?
Yes, I've been there for 3 months, going on 3 months. Actually, it'll be 3 months in the end of this month. So
It's gone by quick.
yeah, went by quick. they keep telling me to come back. I'm bringing something to the table, finding areas that we lack in and things that we can improve on. And the team knows SOLIDWORKS fairly well, so it's not like I have to do a reinvention there. We've got some really good SOLIDWORKS core users, and they know their stuff, so it's all good.
So you work primarily as a CAD admin.
I mostly an engineer there. We do have a CAD admin on site.
Right.
It's something of a title his that was granted to him a few years ago. I told him, I said, we can do this together. You can keep it, whatever you want to do. So we'll leave it like that for now until there's a reason to change it. But so far he's been doing what he needs to do. He's also an engineer, but and I know certain areas of the CAD admin side that will definitely help us. We're looking at a bunch of different type of tools to bring into the fold. So I'll probably put my CAD admin hat on then when those days come. Yeah,
I mean, you might be able to bring something to the table that you've experienced somewhere else that they, unique solutions, and you've got a network of people that could help with almost any problem.
Oh yeah, there's a plethora of people, and the network is huge, and getting answers is not an issue. I think for me, it's a matter of asking the right questions at the current job. What do you want it to do? Where do you want to go with this? What's the end goal? There's a better way to do this, and let me show you a better way. I think when I do that, a lot of times they respect that, because it gives them an opportunity to try different things, and it gives us an opportunity to grow too. And sustainability is huge. You want to be able to bring people off the street that have a good background, but onboarding is massive. If you have a good onboarding, you're talking 1 month of onboarding and learning as opposed to 3. So, it's the kind of things that most companies should be if they're not already looking at.
Yeah, we've now switched up to have one person doing all the training to try and get more consistency.
Consistency is key with onboarding new people.
Consistency is key. You don't want to have to reinvent the wheel every time you onboard something. So having a process in place is very important. I recently just learned that our company really needs a top-down and bottom-up organizational change management mode. And I pitched that to the boss last week. So we'll see how that goes over. We are currently owned by a private equity company, so I'm sure that will have to make its way up to the top of the PE firm. And then hopefully it gets supported, but we'll see. I'm already doing some of the work as it is, but as most organizational change management things that happen, it grows, right? It extends into other parts of the company, goes into different parts of the departments, and the people too. The people are really what make that happen. So there has to be a champion or a bunch of champions, and SMEs and training and HR, and it's a very involved effort.
So many moving bits in that cog.
Yes, extremely.
Got to grease them right.
Yeah.
Otherwise it all seizes up.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on almost 2 months since 3D Experience World.
How long has it been?
Yeah. Did any of the people at your company come to 3D Experience World, or are you planning to bring them next year?
No, I haven't thought about it that far. I'm not really sure how deep in the end of the pool they want to swim. I did pitch my user group to the teams at where I work now, which is Diamond and 10 in Littleton, Massachusetts. Shout out to that. And I don't know. I'm not really sure. That extended part of anything SOLIDWORKS related, sometimes people, I'm not sure I really want to be involved with that, or I don't got the time, or hey, maybe I'll come check it out. I tread lightly there because I never want to feel like I'm forcing somebody to come in my group.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. This is the first meeting I've had since being a new employee there. I did openly talk a lot about being at World with the team. things I learned. One of them is a tool that I'm going to be hopefully bringing in to the fray here at Diamond Nintendo soon. We'll see how that goes. Part of that organizational change management. And, I think people were receptive to the fact of what I learned and the things that I brought back with me, and the more stuff that I'll share as we grow. So we'll see.
Yeah. But speaking of 3D Experience World, did you have a good time at least?
I always have a good
Hung
time.
out with me.
Yeah, of course. I got to hang out with you two. What better 3D Experience World do you want when you get to hang out with Kirby and Jonny?
Your beard was quite rough on my cheek, though, in some nights.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's what happens in Houston stays in Houston.
We take it to Nashville, though.
That's right. That's right. And I wanna bring what I keep hearing into the conversation here. Are we going to see a change in the name next year? Are we going to see SOLIDWORKS World, or is it still going to be 3DX World? What do you guys think?
I don't think so, because they would have announced that with the people in the room.
That was my guess. But I have a quiet hope in the back of my head. I questioned some people, let's say, on this, and I had swerved answers, Ed.
Same, ditto. I've been hearing the same. And there's nothing stopping them from ripping that Band-Aid off and just calling it SOLIDWORKS World. All it is a name.
Well, welcome, Todd. Todd says they bring back SolidWorks World.
See?
It flows better off the mouth. But I feel like the very first 3D Experience World was in Nashville. So maybe they're going to use that to close it out. And
it wouldn't be
circle.
it wouldn't be a bad segue at all. I would welcome it. As a matter of fact, every LinkedIn post for the most part, I always put the hashtag courtesy of our friend Josh Mays, bring back the red. So
it was very red this year.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of doing it. I think they're seeing value in maybe the years that they were trying to pivot in a different direction. So I mean, I know I'll accept it. I'm sure you guys would accept it. And obviously Todd would accept it. And I think there'll be plenty others that would expect a change would be comforting.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest.
The webpage is still saying 3D Experience World.
Yeah, like I said,
it's an easy pivot.
Easy pivot.
Yeah, but I feel like they would want to make that announcement in a crowd full of people to get that reaction.
Yeah, I think what they may do is do a join us next year at.
You're
big
very
shock.
Yeah. You're probably right. I'm being hopeful still. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see until we get to Nashville.
I'm looking forward to it. Nashville's a good town. My liver isn't though.
No, that is a downside of Nashville.
There is a downside.
Entertainment does tend to take it out of you a little more than Houston, let's say.
There is a lot of entertainment to be had in Nashville. I will guarantee you that. You did ask about bringing somebody. There will be one person coming with me, and it won't be an employee. It'll be my wife. She already said, I will be coming to Nashville. And I went, got it.
Yes. I mean, I am enjoying kind of seeing people's spouses coming along and having them help out in certain areas. I mean, Dots are very helpful with kind of the ambassador kind of stuff. Todd's wife was helping out a lot with the makers area. My wife was helping us out with the podcast, kind of them being involved and realizing how good this community is. It's not just them, my wife was very nervous coming, thinking that she would just have to sit in the hotel room and wait until I'm done and then we go out. But essentially she was just, I basically put her in a corner in a room at the CAD Monkey and I said, I'm going. And that's when Josh Mays came over and they just started talking about the UK and
my wife might she's not overly technical, but she's definitely helpful. So I think she might be able to lend a hand in some area. So
Todd's given a very specific prediction.
I like that. That's how they did it, I think, in Nashville. Didn't they announce it with backpacks with 3DX World on the back?
It was.
Backpacks?
They announced it in Dallas in 2019 for 3D Experience World 2020.
Yeah. Right.
And then they had the backpack queue because people were kind of annoyed that there were no backpacks that year, but there was sneaky backpack.
Sneaky backpack. Yeah, maybe they'll do the same. I would, hopefully, we're hoping. I really would like that a lot if they did that. So bring back SOLIDWORKS World. It's what it should be. So.
And what do you think of the special event?
Jensen Hong, if you're talking about that, or are you talking the offsite stuff?
Offsite,
yeah, that was, I think I told my boss if they had a museum, NASA museum, like they do in Houston, up here in Massachusetts, I'd be a lifetime daily member. That place is off the hook amazing. I go every year. I'm in Texas. I always make a drive down. This year, obviously, much easier when it was right in Houston. Who doesn't want to see rockets that are built on steroids?
Have you been to Cape Canaveral?
I have not.
I'd love to. If you ever make your way that way, I'd love to kind of hear your thoughts on that as a museum versus Houston. Okay. So I've done both, and I feel like because it's in Florida, it feels more like a theme park than a museum.
Interesting.
It's mostly outdoors, and then the exhibits are in like these different buildings, but like throughout it feels like you're walking through a Disney park, and everything feels like full of gift shops and full of, pre-shows before you go into the exhibit.
I will have to take that as a recommendation. I've never been. I've obviously been to Florida a bunch of times, but Disney is the closest I think I got to Cape Canaveral.
Yeah, we did the tour, which basically takes around the whole site, where you go look at go kind of close to the launch pads and the vehicle assembly building and all those buildings. You get to see all of that. That was really exciting.
They got that tractor thing that moves at like 1 mile an hour, carrying the space shuttle or the.
We didn't see it, but we saw the tracks that it runs on, or the gravel dirt road that it runs on, and that just looking at that gravel dirt road it's massive.
Yeah,
and you kind of look at a picture of it, and you kind of look at it there, and you're like,
yeah, not the same.
You can't fathom it until you see it.
No, it's just like walking into the building in Houston where the rocket is. You go from one end to the other, and the thing just goes, from massive to a little less massive to a little smaller massive to, okay, now it's just massive on, a smaller scale. It's unbelievable. So if you're telling me Cape Canaveral is like that, then I probably have to make that a trip.
Yeah. My brother and his kids did Cape Canaveral, and they were very impressed.
Yeah. The Atlantis exhibit is also, really good.
Cool. Yeah. I'll have to, I definitely got to take that in now, listen to you guys. I've heard that from other people too. But somebody was telling me the Smithsonian is another one that has a lot of aeronautical and space artifacts, shuttle included. I think isn't the Concorde in one of the buildings too in Smithsonian? I think
so.
Yeah. I definitely got to take that in. And that's not far from me where I'm at.
Well, there's a museum by us that has a Concorde that still has the nose that works. So really? I think twice a day, every day, they do like a raffle.
Yeah.
So you get like a free ticket, and if your ticket gets picked, you get to sit in the cockpit while it does it.
And you get to anchor the nose. You get to pivot the nose.
They pivot the nose. They've basically made it working again. And because it was one of the prototype ones, the nose dips further than the production models.
Ah, interesting.
So they could test it. I think the original ones drooped about 30 degrees, and this one can go 45 degrees.
Wow. Jeez.
That was exciting to watch.
And is this in a specific museum?
Duxford Museum, just north of. It's one of the old RAF bases.
Oh, anybody can go on it. You don't have to get like a security clearance or anything like that.
No, there's a whole like hangar for American aircraft. So they got I think they got a B-52 bomber in there.
Ooh,
and just massive aircraft. We went for an air show where they had about 30 Spitfires doing formation flying together.
Oh wow, that must have been intense.
That was so cool.
I was jealous, Kirby, when you were there, and I saw all your stories. I was waiting for my invite, Ed. It got lost.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Do you want to drive 3 hours?
At the minute, yes, gladly.
I think that's a well-deserved 3 hours to see something like that.
Yeah, it's worth it. Not that seeing you, Kirby, isn't worth it, but you're like 4.5, so.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find.
Mike Puckett saying, nice to see my old friend. Mike Puckett, it's always nice to see you too. Especially when you were here in Massachusetts.
Man, the myth, the legend, Mike Puckett.
Yes. Have you guys ever been in I'm assuming the answer is going to be yes, but in a stadium and had a flyover by a couple F-16s? That
doesn't happen here, Ed.
Yeah, the UK doesn't do training missions using stadiums.
No.
Well, we might just take that to a whole nother level here in the States, but it is epic to see that and feel it. It is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, where I live is just over flight path to Heathrow, and City Airport is that way. But we've got a big bridge over the Thames, which all the smaller aircraft use as a waypoint. So whenever they're flying north, they kind of come around London and go over there. So in the summer, I always sit there and see the small aircraft going by. Quite often, you'll see a couple of Spitfires or Mustangs going across to different air shows and that. If you're very lucky, you'll see like a Lancaster bomber and that. But it's fun just watching them do their thing.
Oh, you're in a good place. I always forget where you are. There's quite a lot of hold patterns out your way, ain't there?
I'm
not so much hold patterns, but just main traffic.
You know what I mean.
I live in actually a town that you're very familiar with the name-wise, Chelmsford. I'm sure you have a Chelmsford, England somewhere.
Yeah, it's not far. I've got a couple of people.
Yeah.
Do you know what Chelmsford is famous for in the UK?
I do not know what they're famous for.
It's where the radio was invented.
Get out, really?
Was it?
Yeah, it's the home of radio.
How do you know that fact?
Because it's on every sign when you drive to Chelmsford.
No, we don't
get the exact facts, but
as you guys are aware, a lot of the town names here in Massachusetts are named from when the Brits were here populating everything. So names included cities and towns. And I happen to live in one of those towns, and I am very close to what was once an Air Force base. It was Hanscom Air Force Base. It has now since been demilitarized. Well, no military aircraft. I still think there is a military wing or some military operations there. But on a good Saturday or Sunday, the flight path is literally right over the top of my house. I will see just about every variety of private type of airplanes and you name it flying into Hanscom over the top of my house. 2,000 feet, real low. So
the history of Chelmsford here is Chelmsford's known as the birthplace of radio, hosting the world's first wireless radio factory.
Well, didn't
the city was pivotal in producing radio and radar equipment for the Titanic and during World War.
Well, I can honestly see it, Ed. Every roundabout will have a sign on it that says, we started radios. We made radios. We invented the radio. It's such a UK BS thing to do.
We had 6 degrees of separation. The company I work for makes RF, radio frequency, rotating joints. So antenna type devices that obviously spin. So there you go.
Oh,
and a lot of that industry is here in Massachusetts, Southern New Hampshire, New England proper, due to companies like Raytheon and BAE that needed a place to proliferate other companies with that type of technology. So
I feel like tomorrow when you go into the office, you're going to have some great water cooler conversations. Did you know?
hey, did you know? I'll be the Cliff Clavin of radio talk, radio frequency talk.
But other than that, you've got a fantastic interest in beer.
Beverage,
You know the nectar of the gods.
The nectar of the gods. Yes, I have quite the assembled following social media wise for this guy right here. Hopefully, I can zoom it in right there.
Yeah, if you want to follow that, I think it's that way. QR code. You can get to Ed's
God
links. Goth hops. I read it as goth ops. The first.
My daughter would approve.
That's what I was thinking. It's like, oh.
What were you doing? Were you sat reading it thinking the logo doesn't quite match? I can't.
It's called dyslexia. The first word that I read was goth. Says something about my taste in music.
Totally not. I'll accept that. I'll take that. Goth ops.
But
you can keep that one for free for when your goth phase comes back around.
If you scan that QR code, there's a link in the description as well. I'll probably put one in the chat as well to this link tree, which has a lot of interesting links to go through. But one of them is a blog.
Correct. Yep. I used to do a lot of writing. I haven't done it since COVID because COVID happened and that changed a lot of the way we do things. And I also bought a house in Chelmsford. So that's taken my time away from wanting to do writing about beer. And everyone goes, oh, you rate beer. And I go, no, I don't rate beer. I rate beer for myself. I don't like to write about rating beer because everyone has a different palate. What you like and what I like are probably going to be very different. And why I like it. So I like to write about experiences, what it's like to be there. Like when I listen to music, people just listen to music because of the sound. I actually try to envision being in the studio when they're recording the tracks. And when, like, say, James Hetfield was laying down his track for the vocal with a drum beat in the background and maybe Kirk's lead or something like that. That's kind of how I process things. I like to really dissect what I'm listening to. And when I write, I like to do the same, what it was like to do this. And maybe it was interesting to write about the process when I was up on the brew deck, helping out the brewer or taking out, the grain out of the mash and all that good stuff.
So do you just, when you're 12 beers deep, you just say that you're trying something different this time?
You're 12 beers deep, you might not remember if it is or not.
If I was 12 beers deep on it, even if it was a 6% IPA, I'm not writing anything. I'm probably sleeping on the floor. So
with a beer in hand.
With a beer like on my chest, right, like this.
Gotta hydrate in the morning.
Yeah. So no one's drinking 6% IPAs or even a 5% lager, at least the craft beer type. Maybe Budweiser's, but I don't drink Budweiser's. So
I don't think you've been to England.
Well, if memory serves me correctly, because I am kind of a beer geek, you have small beer, right? Is that what they call it? Which is low ABV beer?
I would just call it like 0% or low alcohol.
No, low, like 3 or 4%.
Yeah, you get
right.
What alcohol? It's dishwater. It's not beer.
Yeah. Well, they have a name for it. I think I want to call it runnings or something like that. It's the second spin of the batch to get the last ABV out of it. It probably doesn't have a ton of flavor with it, but I'm sure you've got plenty of 8% beers somewhere in the UK, but that could be wrong.
You see, essentially what they do here in the UK is that if it's basically over 5%, they don't give you full pints. They'll give you either 2/3 or a half pint. So they'll, like, for example, Brewdog does that. They'll regulate you. So if you're like, I want that 9%, they'll only give you half a pint, but charge you the same price as a full pint. So that's kind of how they regulate you.
Got it. Yeah, they do similar things here, but it's by state. It's not by country.
Yeah.
And like if it's over 8% or could be 10%, depending on the state. I think here in this Massachusetts, if it's over 8 or 10%, they can only give you 12 ounces. So anything under, they can give you 16 or 20.
Yeah, there was I was at Seattle airport flying back, and there was a brewery tap house at the airport. So I sat down.
I love a tap house.
I was at a tap house 2 weeks ago, and I'm still kind of struggling.
Oh yeah, I remember Sarah's birthday. I texted Kirby the next morning. I was like, dude, Mom, how are you? And he's like,
yeah. Hold on a second. I gotta peel an eye open.
I was waiting for my flight to board, and so I'm going to sit down and have a nice little beer. I didn't really look at any other information. I just basically chose which one had the coolest name and was some alien or something. I'm like, that one. Drink it. It was really nice. I was having a good time. I'm like, cool, give me another one. Get a bit of munchies, have some chicken wings and some fries and that stuff. Like, give me another one. So I was about 3 in, and I was like, okay, cool. I've got 15 minutes for my flight. Let me have one more. So I ordered the one more, and I was like, that's really good. And I look up at the board and realize that I'm drinking 9% beer, and I'm about to drink my 4th one. That's when like reality kind of caught up with me. I'm like, I'm kind of pissed here. I made it to my flight. I had a good sleep on the way back.
That is a yes. You were sleeping very sound. Yeah. So probably snoring away like a trooper, but you were sound asleep.
What tips would you have for a beer? Someone who isn't into a lot of beers and that stuff. If you go to a tap house and you're presented with 20 options.
Yeah. If you're not,
how would you approach that?
Yeah. If you're not familiar with flavor profiles and the types of beer, I would suggest always start with clean, crisp Pilsner or a lager. They'll be easier on the palate. There's no adjuncts in those beers, typically no adjuncts. If it's done right, it's very drinkable. And stay away from a German Pilsner, because a German Pilsner will have more of a hop bite note to it. Clean, but it'll have a bitter back end because of the hops, and the way they brew it too is probably slightly different than a typical Czech Pilsner or an American Pilsner. If you can you want to graduate from that, I would say probably farmhouse, but not one that's super funky. That'd be a nice graduation step up from a Pilsner. If you like hops, if that hop profile is something you're chasing after, you definitely want to go down the IPA wormhole. And of course, you can go into just about any brewery. I don't know what it's like in the UK, but in the United States, there are breweries that are very IPA specific. I like ones that have a good variety. I don't like to see 15 different IPAs and maybe one European style or a Pilsner or a lager. I would prefer a good mix of both, because I want to taste it all. And then if you're really getting dangerous and you want to test your will, a nice 10% barrel-aged stout with all the adjuncts, yeah, that'll curl your toes and knock you out. We call those good night beers. So
night beers. I could do with a few of them.
I feel like the drinking culture in the UK is very different to the States, and we've kind of experienced this where, like I said, I was at a tap house with Sarah and a friend of mine, and we got there. The way that we decided we're going to choose what beers we want, it was about 20 beers. We took a 20-sided dice and we rolled it, and whatever it landed on was the number tap that we chose.
Okay.
We did get a very good variety, but we did get kicked with a lot of high percentage ones.
Yeah.
But we were there for about 8 or 9 hours.
Ooh.
Plowing.
Yeah, now you see why Kirby wasn't in a fit state on Sunday.
Woo. I'm hoping you weren't driving. I'm hoping
No.
an Uber was in your future.
100%. Like UK is very strict on that. So yeah, definitely got an Uber. Our plan was to go for 2, maybe 3, but we just had such a good time.
It happens. I've done it. I mean, it happens. But that's the beauty of beer. Beer brings people together, loosens you up. You're catching up with friends. You're talking about things that you probably wouldn't talk about with your own family because, let's face it, some of those conversations with like-minded people take a whole nother track by themselves. You know, when I meet with you guys specifically, you're a nerd just like me, but you also have other interests. You know, music, beer, life, family. Johnny's a dad now. Both of you are both married, so you know that's what beer's all about, is to have those conversations.
I like it, beer.
Like
beer's like a chatting agent, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
You can't catch up and chat over a load of shots, but you can.
You just
Well,
it's not gonna last very long.
It's just, yeah. That's an hour afterwards. You're probably jumping off the top of the bar from all the shots, but can't say I've done that before. But moving on from that, so yeah, there's something to be said about just sitting around and having a beer and just relaxing. It's I think it's something more people should do, and I get it if you can't.
It's good for the soul.
Yeah, you know, if you're in active sobriety or you're trying to be better about what you do, you still can sit down over a coffee is fine. Even some of the non-alcoholic beers, which I will consume during the week. I don't drink too much during the week anymore.
The non-alcoholics are a lot better, you know.
They've come a long. Oh my God, they've come a long way. I can't believe how good they are. But yeah, nothing beats a good old traditional 8% IPA to kick off your Friday evening and enjoy your weekend. So,
I mean, the drinking non-alcoholic, I've actually found it very interesting because I was like, what's the point? It's a waste of time. But I started to find like now and then some of the guys after work will go to the pub, and I'm like, I don't want to go because I don't want to sit there and drink a can of Coke while you guys are all drinking the beer. And then
yeah, no, I get that.
One guy says like, oh, they've got a good variety of non-alcoholics. So I was like, okay, I'll come around. So I had a 0% Guinness.
Oh, that's good.
Drank that, and I was kind of like, I felt like I was
bang on
drinking.
I am going to applaud you on that. I had one a couple weeks ago at a bar, and I was like, it's Guinness, man. You can't reproduce that at 0.0. And I was like, wow, holy crap. I could not believe it.
Yeah, it's nigh on identical 0 Guinness.
It tastes like a badly poured Guinness.
Yeah.
That's it, but it's good enough to consume. So I had that beer, and then I had just a regular beer. Yeah, one's fine. And then another one, but because like the psychology of my brain was like, you've had 3 beers, you're having a great time, and I did. I was having a good time. I was chatting with people as if I had 3 beers.
Yeah, but if I go out with work for dinner after work or something, I'll have a normal Guinness and then a couple of zeros. And like you say, you know, you don't even, your brain doesn't click almost.
No, and for me, it's a choice during the week. My wife and I both kind of decided, let's go a little easier during the week. Not to say I was, plopping down 3 beers a night, 3 IPAs a night, but there were a couple times I'm like, oh, what am I doing? It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm reaching for a beer. I'm like, no, I can't be doing this anymore. Yeah. So I pick and choose, but I do have some Sierra Nevada non-alcoholic beers in my fridge, and they're tasty. It's totally comfortable to drink during the week and gives my body a break too. You should always think about healthier choices, especially as we get older. Like this guy, I have to remember I'm not 29 anymore. So
I thought you were pointing at me then. I am getting older. I've had a bad back.
You guys, right there.
Well, I mean, I've Sarah and I, we never really drink during the week at all. Like I said, if we get to 5 o'clock, I've got beer in my little fridge over here. On the weekends, we'll have 1 or 2 drinks or something like that. But like 2 weeks ago, we got hammered, so we kind of give it a bit of a break. Especially after World, we do like we don't drink for a while.
Yeah,
but
you imbibe. You're at World. You're taking in the night festivities and hanging out with friends you're not going to see for another year. I totally get that.
I mean, like we went to a concert a couple of weeks ago, and then we went out to a nightclub till 3 o'clock in the morning. Had an amazing time. No hangover or anything the next day, because we just spread it out throughout the night. Alcohol helps us let loose, like you said, have fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a bit out of control, but
I feel like I've learned to pace myself better.
Yeah, pace. That's proper, Johnny. Pace.
Marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. When I was, late teens, early 20s, right? There wasn't pace was as fast as you could go. So you learn. I mean, you get up the next day, you're feeling like crap, and you're just like, "What did I do?" You do that one too many times. Your body and your brain just say, "Hey, you got to cut this crap out." So,
I'm starting to find that what I decide to drink depends on either what I'm doing or the weather. A cold beer after work is very good.
Yep.
But like, a glass of whiskey while I'm playing some video games or watching some, just chilling here in my office is quite nice. And I'm lazy. Like, unless I bring the bottle here and a Coke here, I'll pull that glass, bring it up. I'm not going back downstairs because that's too much effort.
I feel a little bit victimized, Kirby.
I know, right?
If not fooling around there.
If I'm enjoying,
lives on the desk.
Summer comes out, a berry cider goes down very well.
Yeah,
in the summer.
In another 15 minutes here, technically I am off the clock. So instead of this kombucha I'm drinking, right, because that is not alcoholic, I will be drinking an IPA. So continue the conversation because I want to get to that 5 o'clock time slot to be respectful to my employer.
Yeah, they're paying you right now.
Yes. And yes, Todd, Treehouse and Trillium, probably the 2 of the best IPA producers here in the States. So
I love coming to the States for IPAs. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant place for that kind of. And tap rooms, like I said, brilliant invention. Yeah. I've been on many a work trip to the States where I've sat down in the tap room and challenged myself to work down the IPA list.
I mean, it was something I saw online, but something I'd love to go to a tap room and ask them, do you guys do flights? And really, really hope they say no. So I could be like, oh, well, they can have 4 different beers, please.
Oh, yes. Give me 4 of those. You want full pours of that? Sure. Gosh, don't even at the table.
So my father-in-law, he studied chemistry, qualified
chemist.
Not chemist. Can't remember the word. It's just gone. But basically, he's very good in terms of understanding chemistry.
Okay.
Worked a couple of years at a company doing water purification and all that kind of stuff. But before that, he was a brewmaster at South African breweries, the big brewery.
So that means he knows how to water, treat, and condition beer for flavor profile.
Yes.
Maximum flavor profile.
So leading up to COVID, well, before COVID and all that, he ended up buying this really expensive home brewery kit. Have you done any brewing yourself at home? Which is what I wanted to ask.
I have. I've done a couple breweries, brews in the kitchen at the old house. Since I've moved into the new house, it has been sat dormant since, but I tell my wife, or should I say tease, I will be making beer soon because, I have all the equipment to do it. I just haven't had the time. But yes, the answer to your question is yes, including a couple ciders. I even entered one of my ciders into a contest. I didn't win, but but I did pretty good point-wise based on whatever the point system was. So I will take that as a pat on my back for entering a cider and not totally making someone sick or violently ill.
So a very interesting thing happened during COVID in South Africa, which was basically they banned the sale of alcohol in the whole country.
This, by the way.
Ooh,
South Africa's
like
solution to COVID. Stop everyone drinking.
Was it a prohibition or is it just a ban on alcohol? Because
a ban on sale of alcohol.
Okay.
That's serious for South Africa.
Which was funny because at the same time the UK declared alcohol essential so that brew houses could stay open, because they knew people are so dependent in the UK on alcohol that if they cut it off,
it would be riots.
Big problems. So basically the main reason why they did that was to decrease the amount of people in the hospital that are there because of drunken incidents.
Interesting.
So that they can empty the beds for COVID patients. And it happened over Christmas, one of the Christmases when this ban happened. And a lot of the nurses and all that and doctors said it's the quietest the hospitals have ever been on Christmas Day.
I can't believe it.
Because there was no alcohol driving incidents, fighting, all that kind of stuff. So, but from that, a lot of people started making their own beers and, making mostly pineapple beers and different wines and all that kind of stuff in their bathtubs at home.
Yep.
So it's a lot of experimenting going on.
My father-in-law did the bathtub beer once, or moonshine or something, and he was telling me about it. And I said, "How was it?" He goes, "Got you drunk." That was okay.
Got you drunk.
Got you drunk. Yeah. I'm not sure what it was or what was in it. Way before my time, but did what it needed to do.
You ever been to Ireland to Guinness?
I have bucket list. That is a bucket list. I've never been to Europe or anywhere outside of Canada and the United States. So
the Guinness factory is
unbelievable,
beautiful. Well, we don't do the Guinness tour factory is basically a museum. You don't see any of the actual part of it. You got to pay a lot to do that kind of stuff. We did for Johnny's stag do bachelor party. Sarah and I did it a couple of years before. It's called the Connoisseur Tour, where you go to a bar in the brew house. Seats about 20 people, and you have a private barman, and you drink about 4 pints in this hour and a half, 2 hour session. But it's a bit more personable. You can ask a lot of questions and all that stuff, and at the end you get to pour your own Guinness. But doing this a couple of years with Sarah was never a fan of beer or Guinness or anything until she did this tour, where it actually kind of goes through the process of this is how you're supposed to drink Guinness, which is big sips. All the bubbles float all the little icky bits to the top, and people always sip it lightly so they don't like the taste. They're like,
you got that. Yeah.
So basically, it's what they said. They said, take that little sip, think about their flavor. It's not that nice, is it? Everybody's like,
gulp it.
It's like, okay, now do it again, but take a big sip. They did that, and everybody's like, oh my God.
Big difference. Mm-hmm.
And from there, changed her life. Now she drinks beer and all that, makes her dad proud.
There is, it's not like you, I'm a wannabe foodie. My wife is extremely foodie. She loves, and that's not me panting in the background, by the way.
Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dogs wanted me. Oh, yeah.
What for?
And so the wife she'll eat just about anything you put on a plate in front of her. I'm not that daring, but you never want to tell people how to eat, but you definitely want to tell people how you experience a beer, especially different types of beers. So good on Sarah for recognizing that.
Yeah,
it stuck, made impression.
Yeah, you walk to the bar, you get yourself your cheap lager to refresh yourself, and you get the nice beer to enjoy it.
See, I've given up on this cheap lager in the UK. I just think I'll spend the extra £1 and I'll just have something that doesn't taste like ass.
Well, I mean, when it comes to cheap lager, I mean something like a Birra Moretti or.
Oh, you're not like
something
Carling
like
level.
No, that stuff's
Carling's like
disgusting.
the 3% stuff you run about, Ed. It just doesn't taste of anything. It's like just cloudy water.
Yes, I'll stay away from that. It sounds like
some people in the UK are like, oh, I love Carling. I'm like, no, you're just cheap.
Yes, it's equivalent of like your PBS.
Do you mean PBR?
PBR, that's one.
Yeah, PBR. Actually, PBR is
level.
actually PBR is actually a good beer. I've done a blind tasting of a bunch of old type of lagers or lagers that have been around for a long time. Did 4 of them. That was one of them. I think there might have been a Budweiser. There might have been something from Canada. Could have been Moosehead. I'm not sure. And amongst 20 people, a good 2/3 of them chose the PBR.
I don't mind it. I think it's not a bad beer.
And it's cheap. It's not very. It's an inexpensive beer. So, my go-to summertime beer for OG style beers is drum roll. Do you have a drum roll effect? I'll give it to you.
I can give you
Give me a drum roll.
an applaud. I
That's
should
what
put
you
drum roll somewhere, but I'll have to find it.
Not quite the same, but
Just imagine
it. Yeah. Is Miller Lite.
Oh, nice.
I started on Miller Lite.
I love a Miller Lite in the summertime. That is my lawnmower beer of choice. I will, and I get the aluminum cans.
Yeah.
The 20-ounce or 16-ounce aluminum cans, so I can take a gulp, put the cap back on, and then mow the lawn some more, and then come back, sit down, take another gulp, relax for a couple seconds, and then back at it again. That is my go-to summertime lawnmower beer.
It's basically a lawnmower beer. I like it.
That is my lawnmower beer.
Yeah. See, if I were to call it a lawnmower drink, it's berry cider.
You've been hooked on berry cider for a while.
It's just like I could buy a pack of 10 and spend a couple of hours in the garden, go through that box.
Yeah.
It's like juice.
Is it what's the percent on that? Is it
like 4.5?
4.5, maybe 5 on a toucher.
Do they back sweeten it with something, or is it just straight up apple?
No, it's normally like berries and cherries, and
so that's the adjuncts.
They do like a passion fruit one as well now, and a few other bits.
I like a good cider. My wife is more into the ciders than I am. She likes the rosé type ciders, because they're a little more drier. She's a wine girl that has gradually made her way into more of the beer mix with sours. Yeah. She loves a good sour.
My goal is to get Sarah into the whiskeys.
Okay. I have no problem with that. I'm a bourbon guy. I have a few bourbon and whiskey bottles. I don't stray too far with the liquors and different scents. Maybe an Irish cream in my coffee on a Saturday morning. That's about it.
That's the way. And then cut the grass.
Hey, nice straight line.
Straight in my eyes.
This weekend, I said to Sarah, like, I've got no whiskey to drink. And she this is in the kitchen. She just opens up cupboards, pulls out 4 different bottles of whiskey. It's like, you've got plenty of whiskey. I was like, no, but not casual whiskey.
Not day whiskey.
I want something I want to drink now, and that's not it. Pretty much.
There's different tiers, isn't there? You've got like your everydays, your weekend sweeteners, and your fine wine whiskeys for the evening.
Yeah. Uncle Jack wasn't around.
He's
on my desk.
Eagle. If you had, you traveled to the States, I'm sure you've had Eagle Rare and Blanton's and all those other whiskeys and bourbons.
Do you want a funny fact, Ed? Eagle Rare is like, you can buy it in the supermarket here for fairly cheap. For some
It's cheaper than the States. It's about $30 a bottle.
It's what bottle? They have a couple different sizes. We talking the small one?
70 cl, I think.
70 cl, 0.7 of a liter.
That's actually probably what it goes for around here. I've never seen a big bottle of that though, so
Yeah.
it's always in a
No,
small, tall bottle.
Yeah, small
But-
tall, like a wine bottle.
Essentially, you can go into like the equivalent of like a Walmart and buy it there.
Yeah, you can't do
On
that.
the shelves, there's plenty of it because no one cares about it.
No one notices it. Travis gave us a bottle, didn't he, Kirby? And since then, we just keep picking it up.
Yeah, this like he gave us a bottle. It's like, oh, this is special, so we just keep buying at the local Tesco and just drinking it there.
I put one of the American guys on who comes to visit from our America site onto it, and he keeps going every time he comes. He goes to Tesco, which is Walmart, and buys a couple of bottles and takes it back. It's like, oh, this you can't buy it easily.
No, you can't. That or Weller, like the blue. I think it's the blue Weller. You can't find that anywhere here. You probably have a row of it at the local grocery store here and over there.
I picked up a bottle of Whistle Pig single barrel.
Yep.
That's really nice whiskey, and then I made the mistake of going to the pub, having a few too many, and then coming back to my house with my wife and a friend of mine, making a fire in the backyard, and then going through about 3/4 of the bottle in one night.
Mm-hmm. Whistle Pig, originally from Vermont, now brewed or made in New York, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, great whiskey.
And I've got TX. So it's a Dallas-based bourbon.
Okay.
Not too bad, but what I really like about them is the bottles on the tops of them. Each top is different. So what they do is they collect old leather,
different bottle tops,
boots, baseballs, footballs, and all that stuff, and they recycle all that leather, punch it out into little circles, and they put it on the caps. So each of those caps has a unique leather texture or from a different boot, a different hat, various different things.
You picked it up from the airport, didn't you, Kirby, on the way out?
Yeah, which means that, like, for example, I found a bottle at the airport that had a red leather cap. So I was like, well, I'm here for SolidWorks. Let's get a red one. I've got another one with an alligator skin. And then the whole point is that you can make these boards where you put the tops in. You make these like kind of story. And I really like that idea of the caps make it unique.
If that isn't marketing 101, I don't know what it is. So get them to buy the whiskey and keep them coming back. Just like Bland's is the same thing with the horses on the top of the bottle. I think there's 8 or 9 different ones, and you can get a display to put all the different caps on. But at $300 a bottle or $250 a bottle, I'm probably not going to dive too deep in the end of that pool.
No. Well, it's 5 o'clock, Ed.
It is 5 o'clock. Yeah. You know what that means?
We've got a jingle to play.
That means
I haven't got many more drinks in me tonight.
Yeah. We'll play a little jingle.
I'm going to go this way, and I'll be right back. How's that?
He's going.
Sounds good.
All right.
Shing. What are they drinking? We haven't had that jingle in a while.
You haven't, I was thinking that. I've been waiting for it actually tonight.
Jazz is going.
Jazz is kicking. The Clegginator would be happy.
Jazz is jazzing. We should get him to just play jazz just in the corner.
Just get him in with his trombone.
I wonder. I've got pictures of him playing his trombone. I wonder if I can like cut that out, make like some sort of GIF.
Where's he gone for this beer? The brewery or?
Probably.
Blurry figure has emerged.
Welcome back, Ed.
Thank you. I do have. I like the music. Should I get my ascot on? And
the way you were going with that.
Sit back.
So it's a little segment we call "What Are We Drinking?" So anyone at home, that's 5 o'clock. Let us know what you're drinking. Ed, since you're our guest, let us know what you're drinking.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is local to me, very local. One of my favorite beers, I guess you could probably put it in my top 5. Could be my top 1. But that's always hard for me because something will come along and be just as good. But this is very green. Hopefully I might have to turn off my filter here. Hopefully I can do that.
Oh, it's after 5 o'clock, the filter comes off. Not at the kiddie table no more.
Not at the kiddie table anymore. None. All right. So very green. This is
very green.
Treehouse Brewing. There's the logo right there. There's a
Full Indian Pale Ale.
You see it down there? So it's a 8.3% double IPA. The beauty of this beer is that it's got a lot of Southern Hemisphere hops, Galaxy being one of them, which is one of my favorite hops ever.
Very nice. Well,
And,
poor demonstration.
Oh, look at that.
I feel like I need to get a glass now.
You need to turn this jazz down. It's blasting my ear out.
cheers, boys.
That was a good virtual cheers.
Okay. Well, Johnny, what are you drinking? I think you spoiled the test version.
Sorry, I did give a little sneak peek. Jesus, sneak peek. It's an old classic, let's be honest. We wish we were sponsored, but we're not.
I feel like it would be worse if we were.
So do I. It would definitely be a lot wilder.
Well, it's funny you say that. I come through the kitchen and then back, and my wife looks at me. She goes, "What are you doing?"
What did you say? There's a Brit and a South African, don't I?
Yeah. She goes, "When you gonna be done?"
Puckett's enjoying a nice Diet Coke.
Oh,
I hope Todd's enjoying that Miller High Life now. Champagne and beers.
Champagne and beers.
Mr. Ivan Lowen.
Yeah,
Ivan
I thought I was.
We missed Ivan. He didn't go to World this year, I don't believe.
Yeah.
I missed seeing my fellow Canadian friend.
I was excited to see him take on the challenge. It's not 5 o'clock here yet. Currently drinking coffee. You can make that coffee Irish.
And
Ivan, you need to learn. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
And this is Trillium. This is the other well-known IPA. They make other beers too, but well-known brewery in Massachusetts.
Todd says you hit both Treehouse and a Trillium.
Yeah, that was for you, Todd, because you shouted out Treehouse and Trillium. So I did you both.
So I'm enjoying I'm going to open up a Brewdog Rocky Road.
Damn.
It's a marshmallow stout, so it's a dessert beer.
As I was just going to say, it sounds like ice cream.
It tastes like ice cream.
It's a McFlurry in a can.
Yeah. That's why it's called Rocky Road. Probably
6.8%.
Bunch of those adjuncts in it to make it taste like ice cream.
I've gone off Brewdog, Kirby.
That's a big one in the UK, Brewdog. Aren't they the largest?
It was very big, Ed, until they fucked me out on my shares.
Tell me about that. It sounds like you need a hug.
Yeah, they went under.
Did they go like
didn't go under? It was bullshit, right? So James Watt, who was the old owner, what he did was he basically fucked the business and then put it into administration for someone to buy on the cheap and then fucked all the shareholders over.
Well, I take it you were a shareholder.
Yeah, me and Kirby both were, yeah.
I mean, the shares were never worth anything. They were because they never went public. It was a private share.
Private,
so
yeah.
Basically, it was a Kickstarter.
Yeah. They weren't.
But
they weren't going to get it until it's sold.
But it's all right, Ed, because they're going to honour the shareholder discount. Apart from they've closed every bar within a 150-mile radius of me.
They kept all the ones in London, though.
Yeah, fucking brilliant for some of us.
They found your zip code and they went right here and they went a radius.
How far away can we get from Johnny?
Honestly, it's fucking far.
They were basically saying, "Screw you." There you go.
I basically got an email that says we've cancelled all your shares because we've been sold. However, it's great because we'll honour your discount at the last remaining 8 bars in the UK, none of which are within 150 miles of your house. Basically, if I go and visit Kirby, I can have a discount on
You're
a
gonna
beer.
have one
But it's
discount.
all right because London prices are at least 25% more than the North price.
You get the city prices, right?
But before that, how often did you go to Brewdog?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah. I'm curious to hear that.
Well, to be honest, because I live in the North, there still wasn't one particularly close. So, maybe once every few months. But if I was traveling with work and there was one in the city, I would go for the discount.
Remind me, Johnny, you work for an American company that's got an office location? Yeah.
We've got an office in Tulsa.
Yeah, okay. Right. And you're 3 hours north of Kirby, correct?
3-4 hours-ish.
Okay.
Depends how fast you drive.
It depends how many crashes there are on the roads.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'll give you guys warning. I will come visit you at some point. Here's your warning. I don't know when that'll be, but it'll happen.
Just don't be like Joe and come out of a toilet when we don't least expect it.
Ooh, I got to hear the story behind that.
You not heard the story? Oh, God.
We're hosting like a UK Swaggan regional event up at DriveWorks in Warrington. So Theodore flew in from Greece. Johnny and I were there. Heather was there as well. So we're chilling there at the office in the event space that we're going to use, the break room. And Heather said, cool, let's go for a photo. So went around through the offices to the front of the building to get photos and that stuff. And when we came back, get back to the room, we're just having a chat. We hear the toilet flush, and then door opens, and there's Joe Lance.
Pops out, no warning, no nothing.
And we all just turned to like, what are you doing here? He's like, I thought I'd pop by. I've got a layover here in the UK. So he landed in London, drove 4 hours up to come and see us.
Wow.
And then drove back to Heathrow to catch a flight to Barcelona to go on a cruise ship.
Mad guy.
That is,
honestly,
that's props.
But
Ed
told no one.
Told no one. He swung the door open and stood there in all of Joe Lance's glory, and I just went, Joe.
I like the toilet
had no
flush
other word
beforehand. The toilet flush and the door opening.
Toilet flush, door opens, Joe Lance pops out. I shouted Joe, and the room just fell silent, and we just looked at him in awe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because you shouted Joe, and we all kind of like, what are you on about? And we turned, and there he is.
And you're like, oh shit, Joe.
Yeah. So,
hey, speaking of user groups, can I pitch my user group meeting this week?
Of course you can.
So this Wednesday in Nashua, New Hampshire at 200 Innovative Way, there will be a meeting of the Merrimack Valley SOLIDWORKS User Group. Be there.
What day?
There might be some of this, the 25th. There might be some of this, but we'll see.
It's the Nashua. So I'm just trying to get the link for that, and then I can post that.
Yeah.
The Nashua one, right?
Correct. Well, it's in Nashua. The group name is the Merrimack Valley SOLIDWORKS User Group, or MMV SWUG. Go on.
Is
LinkedIn.
it in person?
Yes, it is in person. Nothing virtual on this one.
Oh, you know hybrid no more?
I haven't. I've only done hybrid once, and it was okay.
It was okay.
It was okay.
I like the word okay.
It's interesting because like in the UK, it's a bit opposite where
it is.
Hybrid is the way. Trying to get people in to a venue after hours is very difficult. You've either got to do it during office hours.
We've done pretty good with in person so far. I wouldn't say we're back to numbers before COVID, but if I can get 25, 30 people at a meeting, every meeting, I'll call it a win. That's a win.
Yeah, it is a win.
So.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a SOLIDWORKS thing. It's just in the UK, people don't go out to work things after work because it's a mentality. Your clock's off work, you go home.
The culture is different, Ed.
Is it
Oh yeah, it's like it's past 4:30, 5 o'clock. You know, it's past finish time. I'm going home. I'm not doing any work. It's very
Well, I mean, all right. So the value of the user group, right? I'm preaching to the choir, but I'm just saying, right? Camaraderie, community, networking.
preaching to the choir.
Those things have to be important for somebody more than just us three on here.
Dude,
there are people,
and they can't get out of work for a couple hours.
Yeah, I'm all asking. Just give me 3 hours to look at all this. That's
what I'm saying. If you started at like 1 o'clock, then sure, then people will come because it's like they can get half a day off work to go to this thing.
Interesting. I think if you did that during work hours, I think the numbers would be less here because people are working, and not to say companies don't want to support that, but I think it's a different mentality.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to the resellers. Even they're struggling to get people out to their events.
Really,
dude. Even 2026 like launch event for our reseller.
How many people showed for that?
We didn't go.
Well, that's part of the problem.
I know it is. I know. We were busy. We were busy, Ed. We were busy. But the problem is, everyone in the UK is stretched to bits because we just don't have spare resource. So everyone's like, nope, it's all right. But yeah, they struggle. So then you've got mine and Kirby's ugly mug stood at the front. It doesn't help the sell.
Well, I disagree with that, but
we're doing what we can do, aren't we, Kirby?
How many do you get at your meetings on average? Like, what's the number? Not virtual, in person. If you did strictly in person.
So I did a meeting last week.
You did one last week, didn't you?
Yeah, and if it wasn't for Rudy Otway, who brought about 20 students, I would have had 2 people.
Interesting. Huh. Well, maybe. This gives me an opportunity. I think if virtual is has a good following, which I'm sure it does. Remember, I'm old school. I like the in-person stuff.
Yeah.
I want to sit with you. I want to talk to you face to face.
Yeah.
I get the virtual, but maybe I could do in between my in-person meetings. Maybe I do a virtual meeting in between each one.
One thing I do find with the virtual meeting is that still majority of the people that attend aren't from the local area.
No.
So you can reach a much wider audience.
I like Todd's comment. In Texas, you can drive 4 hours and still be in Texas.
Dude, in the UK, you drive 4 hours. You've gone from my area to London. Yeah. And you ain't got much either side.
But that's also like the mentality. I mean, Todd, I was busy editing our interview with Todd at 3D Experience World, which will come out next week.
Yeah.
And he was discussing that if a meeting was within a 4-hour drive, he would leave work, drive there, go to the meeting, and come back.
If I said to my team, I want you to drive 4 hours to London, they'd look at me like I was stupid and say, no, you need to book me a flight.
Well, you
flight and a hotel.
You've both been to New England. Things are close here, right? And a 2-hour drive for us is like, I don't think I'm doing that. So,
like I looked at a map, kind of comparing Houston to the state of Connecticut, and basically it's the same size as the city of Houston.
Pretty much. Things are packed tight here, but you could 6 hours you can get from one side of New England to the other. So I mean,
it's the same as Old England.
Yeah. Old England, I can go from the Scottish border to the bottom arse end of England.
But it's 6 hours.
It's the British mentality of like, if you have to drive more than an hour somewhere, it's too far.
It's more than 30 minutes to like now.
Yeah. Well, in Massachusetts, we have what most people call the Mass Pike. We call it the Pike. That's bifurcates the state in half between north and south. And then Boston, you have 128 and 95. Those circle around the city. If I have to drive on 95 and 128 past the Pike, I'm probably not doing it. So that's usually
I can guarantee if I said to people, I want you to drive past maybe Leeds, so you're looking an hour and 30 minutes. be like, no, that's an overnight stay.
I think Leeds is probably the furthest you'll get people to drive.
Yeah, any more than that, you ain't getting it.
I mean, on Wednesday, I'm driving up to Coventry, which is about 2-hour drive.
That's an overnight stay for me with work.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm leaving at 5 in the morning to be there. Don't know what time I'm getting back. The only reason why I'm not booking a hotel, because I know if I book a hotel the night before, then I'm going to go out with all the guys at work, and it's going to get messy. I'm going to struggle on Wednesday. Yep. So I'm making an executive decision because I'm going as the user group to promote IronSwag.
Nice. Oh, that's right. What's the agenda? I saw something online. Is that etched in stone yet?
There is no finalized agenda, but the dates are discussed, are linked, ironswag.com. I've posted the link there. But it'll be 13th of July to the 17th of July.
And it's just Adam, right? No Brad. It's not.
Yeah, no Brad, but Ken from HP will be joining and riding. Jose's also.
I love Ken. Ken Denton's awesome. I love Ken Denton.
And Jose's also going to brave the riding. I'm going to be driving with them so that I can carry all their gear.
Mm-hmm.
The plan is to
do me a solid, Kirby.
Yeah.
Ping me a message on Thursday morning to remind me to talk to work.
Yes.
Because it's been a shower of poo the last 2 weeks with my back and things.
Shower of poo.
Standard expression, yeah.
That was the PG expression here, actually.
Shower of poo.
So that's the proposed route right now. Start up north there by Jonny. Then we're going to go across down to DriveWorks. And then we're trying to figure out this one. That's the one that we're working out as well. And then we'll be down in London by 3D Print UK by me. And then that's when the bikes are going to be dropped off and it becomes more of a Europe type of thing where we get a train into Paris to Vélizy to the Dassault Systems head offices.
Nice. I didn't know. I didn't realize they were going into France. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Are you hosting at your work again, Kirby?
Yeah.
Cool.
And what are the dates again?
They are the 13th to the 17th of July. So every stop is going to be live webcast as well. So you can, it's hybrid basically. So our mission is to try and drum up as much attention to it as possible and try and get as many people to each of these stops.
That's cool. 13 to 7. So that's a Monday through a Friday.
Yeah. So
and I take it the Friday is going to be in Vélizy.
Yeah, we've got a meeting next week with the Dassault Systems people about what we're going to do there. Because we did IronSwag a couple of years ago, which was essentially the same kind of route.
No, we did EuroSwag.
EuroSwag.
Yeah. So we started up by Jonny, went to London and then Paris, and then Jose took it to Portugal and Spain. But we found that the Vélizy is tricky because there's no user group there. I think it was kind of a misunderstanding of what was...
we were going to do.
Well, we knew what we wanted to do, but I don't think they understood what we wanted to do. They thought they were just giving us a tour when we were kind of like, we want to host people here. And the security to get in there is insane. You got
to hand your passport over.
And then, so it's kind of, how can we make this more user-friendly? So that's kind of the discussions we're going to have. But the people that we're speaking to now at the Dassault offices came to the Swagun Summit, so they've seen the hype, they've seen all this stuff. Whereas before, it was more or less, we got a contact through a contact. And funnily enough, when we got there, when the SOLIDWORKS people saw we were there, they were like, they had no clue we were there. And they were shocked. They was like, you could have told us. We could have done a bit more on this. So, yeah, we're going to make that big. 3D Print UK is quite easy. It's a London office. We show off my facility in that. DriveWorks is always good. And then up north, up at Jonny's, he said he's going to blow up some pressure valves.
Do you think this will help your user group base in the UK and maybe kick something off in France?
hopefully, like that's one of the things that Einswag does inspire, especially when they go to different places in the States, is try and reinvigorate or try and help out local user groups. So, for example, we've got a user group here in Northampton. The main issue is it's a university town, and this is out of term, so there's no students or anything to try and pick from.
Oh, I see.
So the university doesn't want to be involved because they're not open. So we're trying to figure that out. Whereas over here, we've got the Solid Solutions head office, which is one of the main resellers in the UK.
Yeah, they're owned by Trimec, I believe.
Yeah, so Trimec sponsors every year. So now it's trying to get them to say, this is a good idea to be involved with. Let's host something at your head office. Invite as many customers as you can to that area. So it's convincing them that it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we want, right? We want to build that user base, even in places where there isn't a group. So
yeah,
I'm on board with it.
Yeah, I know Brad and Adam are also looking at doing this in Egypt, because Egypt has done a very good job at getting hundreds of people to user group meetings.
Yeah, they definitely have.
Yeah, we just got to overcome this UK culture. I said we need to do it late afternoon, Curb.
That's kind of the plan. It's tricky with 3D Print UK because it's a functioning factory, so we've got to kind of work around that. But DriveWorks is a bit easier. It's an office space.
DriveWorks is easier. The other two are easier.
This one we're thinking of doing something around about lunchtime. And Velizy, we're going to do a Friday lunchtime thing, because it's the same mentality. If you do something on a Friday at 1 o'clock, if that gives people a reason to leave work early to go to this thing where they can get some free food,
then we'll attend.
Yeah, go for an hour and then till their boss, they were there for 3 hours, there for an hour, and go home early.
But Ed, you're my witness. I told Kirby to remind me on Thursday.
On Thursday.
Remind Johnny on Thursday.
Text me Thursday morning about 9 o'clock.
Recorded. It is documented and recorded, Johnny.
Remind me to remind Johnny on Thursday morning at 9 o'clock.
It's got the recipe of a disaster written all over it.
Oh, there you go. And you might as well just write a post-it note and put it on your monitor while you're at it. So
the thing is that I'll be at work. I'll be stuck in traffic. My thing's going to go off. I'll be like, ignore it.
Yeah, ignore. And then next week you'll say, have you sorted that? And I'll go, did you remind me?
Thursday's good, because it'll be after my thing at Develop 3D.
It's my Friday.
Do people own vehicles in London or take the transit system? What's the option there?
So, when I moved to the UK in 2014, and then moved straight into London, and then left London in 2019. So that's 5 years. Never owned a car until I had moved out of the city, as in like to a different county or state, essentially. Yep. So I live in Kent, which is literally on the edge of London. It was only moving here that I realized I need a car. So in London, most people don't have a car, but the transport network is very good. However, I've hosted meetings on the east side of London, and people from the west side of London, they can't be bothered because it's an hour worth of train journeys across the city. So people won't even travel across the city to these events.
I could see that. Boston's, very similar. If you're living in Boston or proper and you don't have a vehicle, it's a pain in the butt. I mean, you can get there, but you probably got to switch trains or do an Uber. And if you're doing an Uber outside of the city into the burbs, you're probably going to pay close to, I'm not sure what the exchange, but here it'd be about $30 or $40. It's probably a little bit more in pounds, right? And
I feel like in the
monetary terms,
the late 2000s, mid 2010s, but into the late 2010s, that's when like tech meetups were like a popular thing. It was like a hip thing to do after work, go out for a couple of beers, talk about tech. But COVID is really kind of, people value their work and home life balance so much more.
There is a meetup that happens in the Boston area, and it's usually in Boston proper, like Somerville or Cambridge or towns close to that area. They will get and I've been to a couple of them. I haven't been to one lately, but they'll get easily 100 to 200 people.
Yeah.
Madness.
And I'm like, probably because they're getting a nucleus of people in Boston or the Boston area. I would love to see that kind of attendance come back to SWUG groups.
So there's a meetup group that I'm a part of. It's a Lego adults meetup group. It's called AFOLs, Adults Fans of Legos.
Kirby, you got to be proud of me for knowing that.
So I'm part of the London AFOL meetup group, and every month they do a meetup. Same, I think it's the last Tuesday of every month or the first Tuesday of every month. But I'm guilty of it where I'm like, that's really cool. I'd love to attend more of these, but yeah, I want to go home after work.
It's one of them, man. It's one of them.
And for me to get, it's fairly easy for me to get to from work. It will take me about 45 minutes.
So what stops you?
Yeah, I was just going to ask what makes your brain go, I don't want to bother with that.
He wants to go home because Ed, he's not getting paid to be there. That's the UK culture, isn't it, Kirby?
It's not about being paid. It's just like, it'll take me 45 minutes to go home, where I can go home, take my pants off and enjoy life.
The UK are horrifically lazy. Horrifically lazy.
Or 45 minutes, I can go to this pub and I'll probably have a great time. It's brilliant. Getting over that hump.
Kirby, there's nobody stopping you taking your pants off at a meetup either. Just saying. I mean, it might not be welcomed, but you could still get comfortable.
Just UK law enforcement.
Yeah.
You might get a couple looks.
A few more than looks.
You may get more than looks.
Don't mind me. Just getting comfortable.
Yeah, I'm a regular here.
So, do the Al Bundy and tuck your hand in your pants.
I'm just cupping.
It's all good. Nothing to see here, folks.
Yeah, so I'm guilty of it just as much. Like it's tricky. So,
but when you do your user groups, you're not getting paid to do your user groups. So,
but we love it. That's the difference. And the problem is getting other people to love it and be as passionate as we are.
The people that have attended and the ones that come back, all two of them, they enjoy it because they always come to me with questions. And I've got this that I'm trying to work on. How can you help me? One of them is a teacher. I was like, bring your students.
Sorry, I just read Todd's thing and I approached it from a UK perspective.
Only about 2 hours away. When you get up, all right. The last meeting you had that had more than 2, let's say 10 or 20. I'm sure you've had one that's been that large. You do poll the audience to ask them if they have other people that would enjoy coming to this pizza, food, whatever, content. Or do you know, I always ask, if you know somebody that has a space they want to bring a user group meeting to, I try to engage that group, the audience. So not only they're just not coming for food, but they have a chance to kind of make the group better or bring it to somewhere different that I wasn't thinking about. I'm sure you do that.
So one thing I'm trying to, what I would like to try and change up is to have it more of instead of a lecture style, everybody sits in front of a screen and watches a presentation, to have it more of a networking event with some laptops in the corner where you can go and play with, say, some 3D connection devices, and another corner where you can go play with some, the Apple Vision Pro stuff that you can do with Visualize. And that kind of stuff is what I want to change it, and then have that in some sort of, back room in a pub. Whereas when you walk in, you get 2 drinks tokens, and that gets you 2 beers. Mm-hmm. That stuff people go to because it's free beer. It's in a pub, and it's hands on. It's not a lecture.
When's the last time you did that?
I haven't done it yet. It's trying to.
Haven't done it. I think you need to do it.
It's one of the plans for this year. Now that I've got the connection for 3D connection here, and the guy from Solid Solutions that does all of the Visualize stuff, he's now got the Apple Vision Pro stuff, but he's just gone onto paternity leave.
He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. So I'm still going to pull it together. I've got the interest to help put it together. Yeah. The other issue is then find the correct place that's central enough. And this is coming from me going to these kind of events myself in terms of video gaming. It was an event called Destiny in the Pub, where the video game Destiny, a bunch of people that love playing the game, got together at a pub. They did raffles there. So PlayStation ended up sponsoring and giving stuff away. Destiny got involved and they started donating stuff to give away. Influencers like YouTubers would come to the events as well and interact and mingle with everybody. And there was no formal presentation. It was just, hundreds of people in a pub hanging out together and networking. We actually did try this a few years ago. We tried to do like a pub quiz type thing in Cambridge, home of the SOLIDWORKS head office in the UK. And I think 3 people turned up to it in the end. We catered for about 20. And our mistake there was it was 3 weeks before Christmas. So
yes, timing.
It was still a bit COVID-y. So people weren't going out in December because they wanted to make sure they didn't get COVID for Christmas. So it's still Christmas. And the people that were going out were out on work Christmas dinners. But I found it was quite successful because Jonny and I stayed at the pub afterwards and we were chatting and having a good time. But we still had like our SOLIDWORKS user group leader thing. Yeah. And we sat at the bar, and behind us there was a table, big table, company dinner, and one person came to us. It's like, "Oh, do you guys work for SOLIDWORKS?" And we said, "No, we SOLIDWORKS user group leaders," and we explained what we did and what we did here tonight. And they turned around, it's like, "Oh, well, we're an engineering company and we all use SOLIDWORKS here." It was about 10 or 15 of them. And we're like, "Really?" So we kind of sat down with them and said, "Oh, we did this pub quiz," and we showed them some of the questions, and we did kind of an impromptu user group meeting with them that bounced off it. So, you mix that alcohol to get people, ready to talk and network.
We talked about that earlier.
It was a success in the end because, I felt like we got to connect with that company.
So as you know, my next meeting is at a technology park. The meeting after that in June is at a brewery and usually gets well attended. So again, that full circle of beer makes people be more social is definitely a thing. Yeah.
No, it gets tricky because when I did my very first user group meeting, I bought alcohol for people and then I tried to reimburse it and I was told, no, you can't reimburse alcohol. I was like, oh, damn. But in the UK, that's a big cultural thing.
Culture thing. It is. If you get someone a pint and a pizza, they will come back.
Yeah. You find somebody that'll sponsor that.
Yeah. That's
how you do it.
I was fortunate. After that, I found a venue that they paid for my pizza. I didn't have to pay for the venue. They supplied beer as well. Mm-hmm. And there I'll get an average of 10 people. But then COVID hit. The person that I'd organized all of that left. Mm-hmm. And that whole contact crumbled away and I could never get back in there.
Yeah. COVID changed everything, man. It destroyed a lot of the community stuff that I really enjoyed, other than just the user group stuff, but how we operate, how we do things, the mentality of it all. I'm really hoping that at some point we get beyond that. And I get it, we learned a valuable lesson during a very timely time in our lives, but
I think COVID made the 9 to 5 attitude worse as well in the UK.
A lot of people work from home now.
Finish at 5, work from home. Don't work from home. No one's not doing anything outside of hours because my commute is the 15 steps downstairs.
Yep.
The dream.
Yeah. I used to have that.
Some call it a dream. I work from home a day a week, and it's my admin day. I couldn't do it every day. And props to people that do. I would get too distracted.
Really?
That's what I like about it.
It's what your boss doesn't like, Kirby.
What do you? Well, hold on. What do you consider distraction?
I'm
Johnny, and then I want to hear Kirby's answer.
Diamonds are formed under pressure, Ed. I work best when the clock has 5 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go.
Okay.
You tell me I have a week to do something that ain't getting done till the day before, but it gets done well the day before.
So basically, what you're telling me is you're the maximum procrastinator.
At home, I will procrastinate. So I use it as my admin day to catch up on emails and do team reviews, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When I'm in office,
You're
I don't
working.
have distractions. So I'm like bang next, bang next, bang next, bang, 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 bang.
All right.
Fine. So I use it as my catch-up day.
All right. Noted. Kirby, what is your idea of a distraction? Work-related wise or home-wise?
So, like, kind of being ADHD, I need to have something visual going on over there while I'm working. It's not about, I like to just put my phone up, put a TV series or YouTube video about Minecraft, for example, and watch that. But a lot of people frown on that because it's like, oh, you're sitting watching videos all day at work. Where at home, I've got work and then I've got whatever I want to watch, whatever I want to enjoy over there. Play my music as loud as I want. I don't have to listen to, whoever's in charge of the office speakers of that day. I can just basically do what I want. I can kind of take in all those distractions and use it as that chaos to hyper-focus.
Yeah. But you proclaim, and you call it a superpower, your ADHD. I applaud you for that. Remember you posted something I think on LinkedIn about that. I find that very endearing about you. But I also want to know how you cope with that when it's not working. What do you do, like when your ADHD is taking over? Like, what do you do to manage that?
So this is one thing that I always struggle with at work. It's kind of contrary to what I just said, is that I get a lot of distractions at work.
Yeah.
But it's that annoying distractions. Like, okay, I'm going to knuckle down and do a bunch of stuff. And then I get this, hey, Kirby, can you do this? And it's like, I'm trying to put all my attention onto this. So I've got to stop what I'm doing. If I don't write it down exactly what I was doing or something like that, turn around for 10 minutes to have a conversation with whoever, I come back, I've got to spend the next 5 minutes or so trying to reorientate where I was, what I was busy doing in my process. And it's kind of like pushing a stalled car. You've got to, once you've stopped that momentum, you've then got to put all that effort in to get it rolling again. And once you get it rolling, then it's good. And then you get that stop again. It's probably the best way to describe it, is pushing a stalled car.
That's the struggle part, right? Getting the energy to get back into the groove of it that's the problem, right? You got distracted. You got distracted and pulled away. It isn't just you just got distracted. You got pulled away from something.
Yeah.
I went to Kirby's presentation for 3DXW 26, and I said it helped me understand Kirby a lot better. I have to hop from thing to thing so many times a day, but that for Kirby is a living nightmare.
Yeah, it's debilitating.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking how he copes with that, because I can learn. I can learn from that. So
I said when I came out of his presentation, I understand you better now for listening to that.
Yeah, but
I'm so used to bouncing between a million things and having to spin, 20 different plates at a time. And if one falls, the world ends. And Kirby just works in a different way to that, and that's fine. And it's the way Kirby is, and I respect it, and will adapt to it. But it makes total sense.
It's kind of tricky because I'll be juggling different things. I've got to figure out what's most important for me to do right now, and sometimes it's like sanding and painting this right now for me is really, really important instead of my job. you've got to kind of, I think that's part of figuring out, understanding it more yourself to know that, okay, my reward for doing my job is painting this. So we'll get excited for that later. Let's do this.
So you're basically training your brain to give yourself a reason to focus on something else. Is that the measure? Okay.
Yeah. Like, for example, I came home today. I wanted to play some video games before we jumped on here. But also needed to send some emails. So I was like, I'm going to send the emails. My reward is playing the game because the boring part is done.
Okay. So
and now I'm going to play the
train your brain on reward.
I actually, I do.
Dopamine.
I do the same thing with different things, but I don't consider myself like you're ADHD specific, but maybe I have touches of it because I kind of do the same thing. Like I get through a task, but I'm looking forward to that other task that's over here that I need to get to, but I have this other tasks that are in my way that I need to finish first. And I know I need to be focused on that too, so I can check, and then finally get to, all right, this is what I want to really do today.
I do similar to that. I deal with the 10 things I don't really want to deal with, and then go, I get the one.
You have to.
I get the one that I get to, mess around in SolidWorks for 3 hours this afternoon.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's why I enjoy video games like Minecraft, where I can be creative and it's task-based. Say I want to build a specific type of machine or a castle. I've got to then get the materials for that. Say, for example, one of the materials is quite laborious. Then I've got to make a machine to make that material. And then to make that machine, I need other materials. So it becomes this long list of tasks to get that final goal of that final thing I want to work on. So you break it down. You're like, okay, I'm going to spend an hour collecting sand for concrete. And then that's the kind of mindless type of video gaming where you don't have to think about it. You just kind of sit there brainless while watching a TV series. And for me, that quietens the brain and I can switch off because I'm half thinking.
Minecraft blows my mind. I don't have the patience for it.
Well, it's a task-oriented video game.
Kirby, you see the longevity of it, and I do this, and then I get that, and then next. I just see I want to go from there to there now. How do I get there faster?
Yeah, I think that's Minecraft is a taskless game. There's no quests. There's no
and that's what that's
things to follow.
You're building. You're constantly evolving with that game.
Yeah, so
that's why I can't do it.
When you jump on, you've got to have a goal. I want to achieve this.
Johnny, that's because you're the maximum procrastinator.
But the thing is that I am and I aren't. I am with certain things where I'm like, no, that is not important. It can wait. Other things I'm like, right, it's done and it's now and it's done. Next.
See, but if you understand that about yourself, that yes, you like to procrastinate. How can you procrastinate faster? But but having a high sense of work ethic and quality, you finish your work quicker.
Yeah, and I guess my thing is, I feel like I understand the true nature of priorities.
Well,
and something I just can wait. It's not important. It'll wait.
You're obviously prioritizing. So I mean, there's no challenging that. So is it procrastinating, or is it just that you have such a long list that the top priority is the bottom one is the procrastinating?
Yeah, and it isn't. Yeah. And that's it. I don't think it's necessarily procrastinating. I think it's necessarily I have that many that are important and need to be dealt with. That the bottom one can just wait forever.
I have a saying too that we could add to this, and you guys can chime in on this. I always like to get tasks done, get things done, right? So when you have the ability to prioritize the things that are more important, that gives you more room to do the things that are probably less important. Because being proactive is great. When you're reactive, that means you're too late. So
yeah, I think I live in that gray area, Ed, of I'm not quite proactive, but I'm not quite reactive. I've got quite good at fuck up management.
You walk that line, right? You kind of swim. You swim that line.
I always say, people, I have a contact list of, I fucked it. I need help now. What can you do for tomorrow?
All right. That's interesting, that approach I take. I don't know.
It's
tend
not
to
an intentional approach. It's called engineering.
I get it. I think similarly, but when it comes to, like, if somebody gives me a task, like, I'm getting that done first because I know on a priority list, I got to get that done.
Dude, and I know what I'm walking into tomorrow morning. I know what my morning looks like.
Well, that's the other part. You're being proactive, John. That's being proactive.
I'm already thinking about tomorrow, and I'm already thinking I've got this to do and that to do.
That's being proactive, Johnny.
I've got X, Y, and Z to do before I hit lunchtime.
Way more. That's a lot more proactive than I think you realize. So.
Oh, and I won't sleep because I'll be thinking about that tonight because I won't. And this is where I say I've got like OCD and ADHD a little bit, where I'm like, I won't switch off tonight because I'll be thinking about that all night.
I used to be. Oh, sorry, Kirby. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I've forced myself to get rid of all of the work apps to not get that. And I get a bit frustrated when I'm driving in and I start seeing text messages saying, this is fucked up. I'm like, I don't want to know until I'm there.
See you, Todd.
Yeah.
Thank you, Todd.
Yeah,
I don't want to know about the chaos until I'm there. Because then I'm sitting in traffic and I can't get there faster to solve it. And I end up trying to text in traffic saying, this is how you fix it.
You can't do that. I've done the phone call. Like when I have my business, people would call me, hey, I've got a SOLIDWORKS situation, and recite stuff as I'm driving. I'm okay with that. But anything beyond that, where I have to dive into it to really figure it out, tomorrow's another day. I'm not doing that. Get up at 3 a.m. because all of a sudden I'm in a panic. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like 10 p.m., go to sleep, wake up 5:30. 10 or 5:30, sleep.
I'll take
5:30, awake, emails. What am I doing today? Next.
Yeah, I used to get these notifications.
I will not switch off between them hours.
I used to get these notifications every time a machine failed, and I had to turn them off because it would come at 10 o'clock. And I got annoyed by them because I was like, oh shit, things are going to be chaos tomorrow. But now that I don't have it, I don't need to worry about it. But then that notification went to someone else, and I get a text at 10 o'clock at night saying this machine's failed. And I'm like, why are you telling me this? You telling me that is not going to change anything. I can't fix it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem comes on the weekends when, because we have a Saturday shift and a Sunday shift, is that if something goes wrong, I get the message saying this has gone wrong. I've then got to walk them through and how they can fix it, because either we'll have a machine down or loss in production, which becomes a Monday problem for me to solve. So if I spend 20 minutes now solving this problem now, it saves me time on Monday. So I'm very thoughtful of when I do work out of hours.
There is a balance, right? Work-life balance. I kind of, with talking with Johnny, you got to prioritize what that work-life balance is. So,
yeah,
but I get it.
I've been in a field at a metal music festival, quite a few beers deep, on a phone call to Spain, trying to open up a case for a faulty machine, because at that point I was the only person who knew how to do it. And I got back and I was like, this is bullshit. I need people to train.
Yeah.
I said, I was like, I'm charging overtime for this. I'm on annual leave.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's kind of nice to be wanted, but sometimes you need that break.
You do.
So it's why I like traveling to the States. That time difference means that I can't do anything. They've got to figure it out themselves.
Wait until you get a US office.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Dude, so I finish 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then US comes alive in the afternoon.
5 hour difference, right? Well, is it 4 hour difference now?
6
or 5
for
hour
us.
Difference? 6.
Yeah,
Until daylight savings the end of the month is
10 to 10 now, so it's 4 p.m. over there nearly.
Yeah. Well, we're approaching 6 p.m. now, so But
I always say
Tulsa is 2 hours behind me.
we have sales people in Asia, China, Australia. So I wake up to a raft of emails from them.
Yeah. But that can wait till the next day. You're not solving the world's problems in 2 hours at 1 o'clock in the morning.
This week is third-party witness and certification week.
Yeah.
So anything else can wait.
Yeah, that does can wait. Unless someone's arm is dangling and they're bleeding profusely.
Like Jonny was.
Like
That was a different role, Kirby. We're all right.
Gents, this has been fantastic.
I was going to say, this is a great place to wrap it up. My beer's in the bin already.
Yeah. And I've got things I got to do, make the honey-do list a little shorter.
Yeah. I'm going to go have a nap.
I'm going to have a long nap. Well, 8 hours-ish.
Hopefully.
Let me know. I owe you guys a presentation because you had asked last year and I wasn't able to do it. So
Yep.
let me know when you want me to do you a solid on that. So
Sounds good. Well, if anyone that's watching, you can follow Ed down below. It's gothops.blog, not gothops.
although that's pretty good too. That was no.
Next time I see you, Ed, I must get another sticker from you because I got one of your stickers.
I need
I put it on my bag, and then American Airlines destroyed the bag.
I will give you more than one, my friend. I will give you whatever you want. How's that?
Yeah, bring me some spares, Ed. My laptop's looking lonely without one.
Absolutely. Consider it done.
My laptop's naked as the day it was born.
I kind of gave up, Kirby. You know, I used to.
I
like
would.
the naked laptop.
I would love it if you christened it with a bunch of those logos right there.
Throw some over.
I'll even give me your hey, text. You guys know my phone number. Text me your address. I'll mail you some stuff. I'm good like that too.
Well, you want to watch me butcher the social media?
Butcher the socials. It's my favorite part.
Let me hide that. If you want to follow me, I'm at KJ Designs 365.
You know what, Kirby? I nearly butchered it and said my old so you've done well. At JH_product engineering. I promise I actually have some photos to post this week.
If you want to follow...
Yep. I'll get there.
Yep. If you want to follow the podcast, it's at thecorepodcast.contact. Facebook is The Core Podcast with the O's 0. Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok, it's at The Core Podcast.
Boy smashed it. He's done well.
Yeah.
Good at this.
This was fun.
Excellent.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Anytime, Ed.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
We can do this next month if you want.
Ed, my favorite memory of you was, I think, First World in Nashville. We were sat under the boom camera, and me and Kirby were really hungover, but didn't want to say anything. You just went, "Is this messing with your head as well?"
I just kept swinging over your head.
I remember that fondly, among many other things. So,
dude, it was awful. I'm not sitting there ever again.
Excellent.
Gents,
well,
I can't wait to hang out with you in person in Nashville next year.
Brilliant.
And I will again threaten you. I will make a visit to the UK soon. So, and we'll coordinate that. But
sometime between July 13th and 17th would be fantastic.
I can't guarantee that, but if I could, I will. But regardless, we'll talk. So
excellent. Thank you very much, Ed, for hanging out, and thank you everybody that's joined us tonight. We'll see everybody in the next one.
Cheers.
Bye.